A book cover. What should it tell you as a reader? Perhaps the title of the book, or maybe the author's name, or maybe some stickers to let you know whether Oprah or Reese Witherspoon want you to read the book. All equally important pieces of information. But it should also capture the spirit of the book. It should give you some insight as a reader into what the story is about. Will there be comedy? Will there be romance? Will there be shirtless men on horseback? All equally important pieces of information. Today's an exciting day for me because I am finally allowed to share with you the cover of my upcoming young adult novel, This Could All Go Bad. For those of you that are familiar with the traditional publishing process, you know that it is a long road. It is definitely a marathon and not a sprint. For example, I sold this book to Bloomsbury all the way back in the summer of 2024. And so now, a full year and a half later, I finally have a cover that I can show, and I'm so excited to finally do that. So now, without further ado, here it is, the cover to my next young adult novel, This Could All Go Bad. I think this cover is so fun. We went through several drafts, a little bit of an editing process, trying to nail down the details, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Jim Tierney created this cover, and I think he did a great job capturing the wild, anxious, chaotic vibes of this story. I think the color scheme's really fun, and I love all the Easter eggs that are in the sketches along the border. And overall, I'm just really excited that this is going to be the cover for my next book. I haven't really talked a lot about this book on this channel just because without a cover and without any sort of like pre-order links, it felt kind of premature to talk about, honestly. And now that I have a cover, now that I know a publication date, this book is going to be out in the world May 19th, 2026. It feels like I can finally really start to talk about it. In fact, I think it's my job to start talking about it now. I think my publisher is like, yeah, you have to start marketing the book. I don't really know how to do that, but you know, I thought talking about it on YouTube is got to be at least part of what marketing is, right? This Could All Go Bad is the story of an anxious young man named Jensen whose friends convince him to sneak out on the eve of their 8th grade graduation and compete against some girls in their class in a series of escalating dares. And very quickly, the night spirals out of control. We pitched this book as Superbad's younger sibling, so if you like Superbad, I think there's a good chance you'll like this book. The night spirals out of control in a sense that they have to face off against angry chaperones, disgruntled college kids, even a few social media famous ferrets. And as tensions build, secrets are revealed, and the boys have to face the fact that even if they manage to survive the night, their friendship may not. I think it's a super fun story. I think it's a funny story. It's a great book about like positive male friendship, which I think is something we need more of. So if this book sounds interesting to you, or if you have like a young reader in your life that you think would like this book, I hope you'll keep it on your radar. Again, it's not out until May, but you can pre-order it now. So, you know, if you want a Christmas gift for someone, you can wrap up the pre-order confirmation and be like,
hey, you're getting this Christmas gift in 5 months, get ready.
I think that's what everyone wants. I will say, I think genuinely trying to market a book as an author is fairly challenging. One, because I think authors like me are generally introverted. We like to sit at a computer and talk to ourselves and make up stories in our head. And so then when it comes time to like put it out into the world and like get in front of a camera and actually talk about the work, a lot of us, including myself, turn into like a bit of a caveman where I'm just like,
me wrote book, you read book, you enjoy.
Which is maybe not that convincing to potential readers. I also think it's hard because regular novels are not that much of a visual medium, which is why I think we tend to build up these cover reveals so much. I think it's maybe a little easier for other artists who like work in visual mediums, who are like painters or even like singers, just because they can like very easily put their stuff out in the world and it can resonate with folks. Not that social media is easy for anyone necessarily. I feel like we're all kind of just like shouting into the void, hoping someone sees our work and enjoys it. But I think it's harder for authors because I'm not just gonna sit here and read portions of the story to you like it's your bedtime, but I will. you know, if that's what it takes to do the marketing for this book, I will go to individual homes and, you know, we can get you some cookies and milk. I can sit by your bed and read you the story. If that's what it takes, I'm willing to do it for a price, obviously. You have to pay for my airfare. Like I said, my agent and I initially pitched this book to editors as Superbad's younger sibling, and I think that is an apt description. It's a comedic book. It's a book about male friendship. It's a book about what happens to those friendships when you reach a fork in the road on the cusp of major life changes. But I will say this is definitely like the PG-13 version of Superbad. The comedy is not necessarily as crass or as vulgar as Superbad is, since it is about boys in middle school or leaving middle school and jumping into high school. So if you don't like Superbad, I think this could still be a book that you enjoy, just because it's not necessarily the same type of humor, but I do think it is like a spiritual little brother to Superbad, in the sense that it covers a lot of the same themes that are covered in that movie. Though I will say I'm not above putting in like a well-timed fart joke or something. If you've been following this channel for a while, you may remember that my first debut young adult book called Kind of Sort of Fine was published all the way back in the summer of 2021. And so now by the time this new book comes out, it'll have been 5 years, which is quite a bit of time, obviously. I think it's kind of well known in publishing and in writing that the second book is usually a pretty hard one to write. And that was true for me. I went through a couple different ideas, but I'm excited to have this one out in the world, and I think young readers will really enjoy it. So if you or someone you know is looking for contemporary, funny, young adult books to read or to pick up in 2026, I hope you'll keep This Could All Go Bad on your radar when it releases in May. But also, I have this one called Kind of Sort of Fine that you can find in bookstores and in libraries now. So I hope you'll pick this up if you're interested and if you're building your list for 2026. I'd love for you to read it, so thanks ahead of time if you do decide to check it out. And thanks for clicking on this video and joining me on this cover reveal. On this channel, I talk a lot about my writing process. I talk about the creative process in general, because I also am a visual artist. I make little prints and stickers that I sell sometimes. So if you want to follow along, if that's the type of stuff you're interested in, I hope you'll click subscribe. If you do, I'll see you on the next one.